Eala subdues Vekic. Filipina tennis sensation Alexandra Eala delivered a comeback victory at the 2026 ASB Classic on Tuesday night, January 6, 2026, in Auckland, New Zealand. The 20-year-old Eala, currently ranked world number 53 and seeded 4th in the tournament, clawed back from a set down to oust Croatian veteran and Paris Olympics silver medalist Donna Vekic, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, and advanced to the round of 16. According to the official ASB Classic news, the battle at the Manuka Doctor Arena lasted 2 hours and 40 minutes, concluding late into the Auckland night. Eala subdues Vekic, a tale of grit, crowd, and comeback. Auckland's night sky had long since draped itself in darkness when the crowd at the ASB Tennis Center first sensed something electric in the air. For most spectators, it was just another evening at the ASB Classic, a WTA 250 event on the early calendar. Yet for thousands of Filipino supporters packed into the Manuka Doctor Arena, this was an emotional pilgrimage brewing into something unforgettable. On one side of the court stood Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old sensation from the Philippines. On the other, Donna Vekic, the seasoned Croatian professional and 2024 Paris Olympics silver medalist. What unfolded next wasn't merely a match, it was a crucible of spirit, a test of nerve where heartbeat experience and passion rewrote the narrative of the night. The Manila Journal +1. Set 1. Lightning and Shadows. The match began with Eala exploding out of the gates. She was fast, aggressive, and flowing, sweeping through the first 3 games like lightning across calm skies. Her intentions were clear, she wasn't just here to compete but to dominate. Her left-handed forehand sprayed winners. Her footwork seemed impossibly light. In barely 10 minutes, she stood 3-0 up, eyes gleaming with focus that bordered on ferocity. The Manila Journal. But Vekic is no ordinary opponent. At 29, she has lived through storm after storm on the tour, sharpening her game with each lesson. The early deficit seemed only to awaken something deeper in her, the veteran poise that once carried her to a world ranking as high as number 17. Slowly, methodically, she chipped away at Eala's lead. The forehand winners began to land, the errors lessened. The first set slipped from Eala's fingers as Vekic won 6 of the next 7 games, snatching it 6-4 and sending a subtle shockwave through the arena. The Manila Journal. Eala's shoulders dropped ever so slightly as the crowd let out a collective gasp. For a moment, it looked like the night might belong to experience after all. Set 2. The Heart Awakens. Between sets, something changed. Whether it was a glance from a coach, a shout from the crowd, or a private whisper of self-belief, Eala emerged with a simmering intensity, quiet but unyielding. Her footwork sharpened once more. Her serves found their marks with renewed purpose. This was no longer about flashes of brilliance, it was about sustained will. The Chronicle. The second set became an exchange of wills. Vekic's experience countered Eala's energy. Long rallies spun back and forth, each point etched into the spectators' minds as another chapter in a budding rivalry. The tension rose accordingly. At 3-3, the match felt like balanced poetry, each player completing the stanza of the other. Then, in a sequence that seemed to lift the entire Filipino crowd to its feet, Eala found that extra gear. She broke Vekic's serve with a series of brilliant returns, precise, bold, and fearless, to take a 5-3 lead. In those moments, the crowd seemed to hold its breath as one entity, its collective heartbeat echoing across the court. Vekic fought back, as only a battle-hardened champion can, but Eala refused to relent. She closed out the set 6-4 with the calm composure of a player well beyond her years, and, just like that, the match was on even footing again. The Manila Journal +1. Set 3. Triumph in the Twilight. With the match tied, both players stepped onto the court for the final set like warriors returning to the field. The atmosphere was now electric, every point a spark, every rally a burst of emotion. Here the crowd wasn't just cheering, they were part of the match itself, their voices rising with every spin of the ball. Eala later said, "Home is the people and not the place," and tonight, in Auckland, that sentiment was tangible. The Manila Journal. The players traded holds early until the score sat at 3-3. At that instant, it felt like the whole night teetered on a knife's edge. Then Eala found what seemed like a secret well of strength, an ability to extend rallies just long enough to force errors, to find angles others might miss, to keep the pressure on. 2 consecutive breaks later, and she held a 5-3 lead. But even as victory glimmered on the horizon, Vekic was not done. She clawed back, saving match points, refusing to be swept aside. Near the end, the Croatians' shot clipped the net, and suddenly the score nodded again. 5-4, like the pendulum of fate itself hesitated before the final strike. The Manila Journal. Then came the moment. A powerful forehand that prompted a collective roar, a ball that clanged against the court and signaled not just a point, not just a win, but a thriving spirit. Eala had done it. She had subdued Vekic in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, after a grueling 2 hours and 40 minutes. The Manila Journal. What it meant. In the rawest sense, this was the first singles match of Eala's 2026 season. But numbers cannot capture the magnitude of what transpired. It was a passing of a torch in some ways, not a relinquishing of greatness by Vekic, but a moment of recognition that a new force was rising. For Eala, it was more than advancement to the round of 16. It was a declaration to the tennis world that she is not just a player to watch, she is a player to be reckoned with. Philstar Life. From losing the first set to battling through the middle and final frames with grit and poise, Eala showed what champions are made of: resilience, courage, and an unshakable belief in oneself. Against a decorated opponent with Olympic pedigree, she did not merely survive, she conquered. DailyGuardian.com.ph. The crowd, the invisible partner. Perhaps the most beautiful subplot in all of this was the crowd. Filipino supporters traveled across oceans, adorned in colors and chants, turning a neutral stadium into a carnival of hope and pride. Their voices were inspirations, rhythmic, uplifting, and unwavering. Every rally won was rewarded with cheer. Every loss of point was met with encouragement. Tonight, the crowd didn't just watch history, they helped write it. Gulf News. Afterward, a champion's reflection. Post-match, an emotional Eala spoke of gratitude and growth. She acknowledged Vekic's experience, the tough pre-season she had endured, and the significance of competing at this level. Her words resonated deeply, not just as polite sportsmanship, but as the humble heart of an athlete who has already learned more than many do in a lifetime. Philstar.com. Looking forward. With this win, Eala now prepares to face Petra Marcinko in the next round, another Croatian opponent and another test on her 2026 journey. But tonight will surely be remembered. For fans, it was another thrilling chapter in Eala's evolving legacy. For aspiring athletes everywhere, it will stand as a testament to what resolve and belief can achieve when the odds seem daunting. And for tennis, it was a riveting match, a reminder that sport's greatest stories are not told in statistics alone, but in moments of true human spirit. Philstar Life.